guys, this is Tarot with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, and today I'm jumping in with a pick-a-pile reading. Yay! I love doing these. I love making little themed pick-a-pile readings. I am greatly inspired by Charmed Intuition, so I will link her channel down below as she does tons of pick-a-card readings, themed pick-a-card readings, and sometimes she collaborates with other readers and she just creates so much wonderful content. But there's so many wonderful channels out there that, you know, if I link them all below, like it would be an almost never-ending list of awesome people. Okay, so for today's question, I'm utilizing the energy of our animal friends. And I'm also using the energy of the ocean, our friends in the ocean, you know, with seashells, because at one time those there were living energies inside of those seashells before they became a part of the ocean once again. So I want you guys to take a nice deep breath in and out and feel the energy of those animal spirits, those animal friends coming in to guide us. So one more deep breath in and out. Okay, so the question today is to ask our animal friends or animal allies, what is my next step? So everybody is at a different point in their life, you know, as they watch this video. A lot of different people have different things on their mind, you know, of what that next step is in what category, you know, so it could be in your career house, it could be in your relationship house, it could be, you know, in friendship, it could be, you know, in a lot of different things, in your money. But this is just what your next step is. So make sure that you have in mind the area in which you would like to focus on, and then the message that comes through will be your next step in that particular area. Do remember that this is just a general reading, and there are a lot of people that watch these videos, so if there's some stuff here that isn't really connecting with you, that's okay, because again, it's just a general reading, and maybe it wasn't meant for you at this time. It may have been meant for other people, but if you do want something that is more mano y mano, you and me, one-on-one, really diving into your particular situation, your particular questions, then I do personal readings. Just head over to my website, www.kittensweightsandtarot.com. And actually over on my website, there is a link to my deck. I have created a deck with the help of our community, and it was funded on Kickstarter back in May, and I was able to get it printed and sent out in July and August, so I was super excited about that. But is my Wally's World Oracle. And yeah, so okay, so let's take a look at what our animal friends have to say about what our next step is. I have pulled some cards as well as a seashell because I do conjumancy for each of the piles. So with the little elephant here, we have pile number 1. With the turtle, we have pile number 2. With the cat or the goddess Bastet, we have pile number 3. And we have this dove feather from my area for pile number 4. If you do want to send a little love my way with these readings that I do here on YouTube, then think about joining that KWT tribe over at patreon.com/kittensweightsandtarot so I can do more fun things like these. So let's jump into it. All right, hello to pile number 1. So let's ask our animal friends what your next step is. Remember to have in mind the particular area in which you would like this guidance on your next step to be. So it could be, like I said before at the beginning of the video, relationships, career, money, friendships, health, you know, whatever it may be. So let's look into it. And do remember that this is just a general reading. I have pulled a seashell for us as well, so we'll get to that after we take a look at the cards. And how cute is this little elephant? The dude got this for me, and I just think this is so adorbs. Okay, so let's take a look at our cards. By the way, I don't think I mentioned, I am using the Ravens cards. I am using the Animal Wise Tarot, and I'm using the Spirit of the Animal Oracle, and one more deck. I'm using the Considerate Cat Tarot. So, okay, turning these cards over. Okay, we have hold still and let yourself be borne up upon wings of power. You will come to no harm, for they shall raise you up, that your foot shall not strike against a stone. So that's from Psalm 92. We have brown bear spirit, take time out. So we have hold still, take time out. Very interesting, very interesting. We have 10 of 4 legs. So earth, pentacles, this would be 10 of pentacles, moose, home, birth, primal mother. I love these Ted Andrews decks. And then we have the mother of pentacles. Really interesting. Okay, and then for our seashell, this particular shell is speaking to a loss or breaking away from something. You know, I love to read my shells intuitively, and I have assigned meanings to each of them. So this one is like my breakaway or loss, or you know, missing you know, another part, a second half. You know, something is missing from the equation. Okay, so let's put these cards together here for you guys. Whoop, slippery outer cloth. Okay. Okay, all right. So the message that I'm getting, especially with the breaking away seashell here, is for this next step. You know, remember, whatever area this might be on applied to. I feel like family is coming into this. So this could be like your extended family. Maybe it could be like mom and dad. But I feel it's a little closer to home. So the family closest to you. So this could include significant others, children, friends that have become like family to you. You know, oftentimes, you know, people consider certain friends to be closer than their biological families. So your next step, you know, is in dealing with that. So even if you're like, oh, but this was a health question, or this was a career question, or this, you know, whatever the area it was in, they're saying the next step has to deal with family, because it's going to affect the area in which you're asking about. So for this next step, for the family portion, because again, it's going to affect the other areas, is to step away or break away that which has been taking up most of your time as of late. So if I think of myself, what takes up most of my time right now is not only my day job, you know, my teaching job, but I also have my opera. You know, I'm doing a couple of operas right now, which take up a lot of my spare time. So I don't have a whole lot of other time for like my spiritual biz and stuff like that right now. But I will have more time, obviously, in October. So what this is saying is to just take a step back just a little bit if you can. If you have to take a day off here or there, in whatever area, whatever it is that you're doing, take a step back. For me, it may be my job. For you, for other people, depending on the area that you were thinking about, taking a step back just a little bit and focusing on the people that you love most. So whether it's friends that you consider your real family, or it's your significant other, it's, you know, or, you know, husband, wife, children, you know, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, whoever it may be, focus on them just a little more is your next step. Because by doing so, it's going to affect the area that you were inquiring about in a positive way. You may not be able to see how that may affect right now, because you're like, well, what does spending more time with my family have to do with making more money? Trust in the animals here. You have moose, you have crow, you have bear, you have our black cat friend over here. but they're all just stepping in to say to focus a little bit more on family, because who knows, it could be you feel a little bit more energized, you see things in a different light because you're able to talk to them a little bit more about what you're doing. Who knows the reason why, but they are just saying that your next step is just spend a little bit more time with those that you love, and it may mean taking some time off, a day off, a half day, whatever it is, taking a step back. If you've been doing some, crazy workouts in the gym, and it's just like all day, every day in the gym, maybe you take a lighter day in the gym and spend a little more time at home. Or, hey, maybe even bring your friends or your family to the gym, but make sure that you're spending time with them. Okay, so that is the message. That is your next step. And, if I think of the animals that are present here, I know that I have my raven cards. But ravens, obviously, most of the time they're in pairs. They work together. If we are talking crows, they often work as a team. Bears, we're always thinking of like mama bear, very protective of their young. Moose as well, is very family oriented. And it can be very dangerous. Like if you are being chased by a moose, like that's pretty bad. And cats, although we like to think of them as being very solitary and very independent, studies have been shown to, studies have been done to show that, cats have, cats and dogs have very similar like emotions and feelings the way humans do. So the way humans might feel neglected or alone is the same for cats and dogs, So even though cats may have a very independent nature, and there are a lot of humans that have very independent natures, doesn't mean they want to be neglected. No animal, no person wants to feel neglected. So these are all animals here that have to deal with family. So yeah, I hope this reading made sense to you. And if it did, just let me know down below. And if, like I said before, if you want to catch a reading from me, head over to www.kittensweightsandtarot.com. And to send a little love my way, just join that KWT tribe over at patreon.com/kittensweightsandtarot if you want to see me do more things like these. All right, so that's it from me, spiritual homies. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out. All right, hello to pile number 2. So you homies got the little opalite turtle here. I love turtles. And I also pulled a seashell for you guys, so we'll take a look at what this means in conjunction with the cards here. I mentioned in pile number 1 the decks that I was using, so I'm using the Raven cards by Gabby Bucher. I'm using the Animal Wise Tarot by Ted Andrews. I'm using the Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. And I'm using the Considerate Cat Tarot by Madeline Berlinger, or Berenger. Hold on, let me make sure that I'm saying the name. Bellinger, Madeline Bellinger. All right, so let's take a look at these cards. So like I said, make sure that you have in mind the area that you want guidance on of what you want your next step to be. So it's next step in health, next step in friendship, next step in relationships, next step in love, next step in, whatever it may be. So let's see. We have go back to your roots, go right back. When you have found yourself, you cannot fail to reap a bountiful harvest. Okay. Then we have, mouse spirit, tend to the small things. Okay, so we have going back to your roots, tending to the small things. And then we have 5 of Ancients, which is the 5 of Wands. Gecko, do what you must in struggles. Okay, so just doing what needs to get done. And then we have the 7 of Pentacles. Interesting, we had Pentacles in the last reading as well. Okay, so let's take a look at these, and then I'll read them in conjunction with this particular seashell that I have pulled for you guys. And have my little turtle oversee your cards here. Okay, so what is your next step, having in mind the area that you were focusing on. Okay, so this is just speaking to, the next step being to continue the hard work that you've been doing. I know that's probably not what you're wanting to hear right now. You're like, I have been doing the work, but it's saying you're on the right track. Just continue here with the Seven of Pentacles a little while longer. This particular seashell for me represents spirit. And I also think it looks kind of like a parrot, which is very apropos since this is, messages from our animal guides. But if we look here at the, these particular animals, I know that I'm using the raven cards, and, oftentimes ravens do work in pairs, but oftentimes they're also seen alone. They're very independent, but if they need help, they will get help. And they find very clever ways to get their help sometimes. Mouse spirit, mouse can get into some pretty tricky situations, but they can also get themselves out of some pretty tricky situations. They are also very ingenious. They if there's a will, there's a way, basically, with mouse. And with gecko, very same thing. Geckos can find themselves in some interesting places, especially if you live in a place where there are a lot of geckos, kind of like in Florida and some other places. And then with the Seven of Pentacles, these kitty cats. Actually, I'm thinking all of the animals here. I know that I'm using a cat deck here and a ravens deck here, but it seems like all of these animals are known for their ability to get into some tight spots. But they are also known to, with enough struggle and effort, to get themselves out of it. So this spirit here with this parrot, which reminds me of the parrots that we have a population of these green parrots in my area, and no, they are not native to El Cajon. But a couple of parrots had gotten loose, and they have now created a large population of parrot in this city, and we can often hear them, and they all fly together. And they've made this environment their home. Where there's a will, there's a way. And so this next step is saying to just continue doing what it takes. It's not going to be easy, but you will be able to reap the rewards. Kind of like this is saying, when you have found yourself, you cannot fail to reap a bountiful harvest. So whatever area you were looking into, whether it was, family, romance, health, friendships, whatever it is, your next step is to continue doing the work, even when it feels like you want to give up and you're like, I don't know, it's getting too hard. This gecko here is saying, you do what you must in struggles. It's going to be a struggle, but you got to do the thing for now. And I know that's like not what we want to hear. It's like, what? So keep doing it. Keep trying to be, find ingenious ways to continue through, to push on through, because what's on the other side is freedom for you. It is a bountiful harvest for you. Once the mouse gets unstuck, once the gecko gets unstuck, once the cat gets itself out of, a tight situation, once the raven figures out how to do what it needs to do, and it figures out what it needs to call in or whatever it may be, it's a reward for them. It's happiness. It's the sun card. So I'm just feeling for you to find interesting ways to trot on and go through these sticky situations and go through the struggle, because what's waiting on the other side, even though it may take some time, is going to have been worth your while. Like, trust the animals here. They're like, trust us. It's gonna be worth your time. All right. So I hope this message was useful for you. If this made sense to you and connected to you in somehow, just leave me a comment in the comment section down below. If you want to catch a reading from me, again, something more personal, head over to www.kittensweightsandtarot.com. And if you want to send a little love my way so that I can continue doing videos like this and other things for the community, then just head over to that KWT tribe over at patreon.com/kittensweightsandtarot. And that's it for me, spiritual homies. All right, peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out. All right. Hey, group number 3. Hello, pile of 3. So you guys picked this awesome seashell here, which actually I picked for you guys in this pile, and my awesome Bastet statue, or you were just going for that cat energy. So let's go ahead and put her over here. And we'll put the seashell off to the side until we can take a look at the cards. I did mention in groups 1 and 2 the decks that I was using. So I am using the Raven cards. I am using the Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. By the way, the Raven cards are by Gabby Bucher. I am using the Animal Wise Tarot by Ted Andrews. And I'm using the Considerate Cat Tarot by Madeline Bellinger. All right, so let's take a look at these cards. So make sure that you solidify in your mind the area that you want to focus on. What is your next step in this area? So it could be in romance, friendships, family, health, whatever it may be. What is your next step? So we're going to be asking our animal friends. We have go to the wellspring that is waiting to flow, then ask it to do just that. So going with the flow we got here. And then we got the starfish. Okay, a couple of very watery things. Open to infinite possibility. The starfish can do some amazing things, by the way. And then we have the Two of Ancients, which is the Two of Wands. And here we have Sea Turtle, persevere to achieve. This is very synchronistic. We have some very watery energy here. And then we have the Three of Wands. So how many we have? Okay, so we have 2 Wands cards here. So we have 2 fire cards, but we also have these very flowy, watery, cards here. And with the butterflies, also very airy. Very interesting. Okay, so, and I know that I also have the energy of sea with the seashells, but okay, this particular seashell speaks to kind of like the mountain card in Lenormand, or blockages, a difficult road, bumps and the like in the path. So let me breathe into the energy of these cards. What is your next step? And again, this next step will be applied to whatever area it is that you are focusing on. Okay, so going with the flow, infinite possibility, persevere to achieve. And we have the Three of Wands, which is calling in help. Okay. So this is what I'm getting. I'm getting that obviously you have chosen this particular pick a card reading because there is a bump in the road. And which human being out there doesn't experience bumps in the road, right? So you are at a particular block, again, whether it's friends, family, health, whatever it may be. And so that's what's brought you to today's pick a card reading. Sometimes it could be curiosity, but I think more often it might be somebody's like, okay, I'm a little stuck in this area and I just need some guidance. What is my next step? So I am getting that the next step is to look at the situation a little bit differently, and you're going to need to ask for help. And I know for a lot of us, myself included, asking for help is like the last thing I really want to do. I want to just quietly do it myself and get it done, and I hate asking and bringing people in for that help. But if you want to get past this block, whatever it is, you're going to need to ask for help. You're going to need to swallow a little bit of that pride, a little bit of that ego, and ask for help. Because when you do, you're going to see a way to overcome the problem, a way to overcome the issue that you hadn't seen before. It's almost like the hangman card. But by bringing in others to help you with it, you're gonna be like, oh, like that's a way to resolve the problem I hadn't even thought of. Like it was not even on my radar. But to just kind of go with it, which is what the raven is saying over here. Just kind of go, and like butterflies, everything's just go with the flow. Oh, and I love how everything is, kind of that pentacle shape almost, with the turtle. Wow, I just kind of like put all that together. But yeah, this is, that's that's the flame making the crackle over there. But yeah, this is a bringing together, the missing piece of the puzzle. And the missing piece is the advice of others, bringing others in. So I know some people, like especially if this is a health related question, or an area in which you're focusing on, we may feel uncomfortable telling people about our health situation. I know that I am, uncomfortable sometimes telling people about, well, not so much anymore because I've opened up quite a bit about it, but I do have a heart condition. I have something called PVCs and tachycardia, and I oftentimes am very self-conscious when my tachycardia acts up, and or my PVCs, because I hate how I feel like I'm not at my best, and I don't like people to not see me at my best, fully functional and all of that. And I always feel like I am weakest at that point, and I don't like people seeing me at my weakest. But if this is like applying to you, where it's like, well, I don't want let people in because I don't want them to see me as less than, or whatever it may be. That is just your perception. It's just in your own mind, and it would be basically, I'm talking to myself as well. So again, whatever area this is, I know it's not like everybody's talking about health here, but apply that to whatever area it is. Is just, if you think that calling in help makes you feel less strong or weak or less than, just know that what the animals are saying here is that is in your own mind. That is your perception. That is not the perception of everybody else. Because think of it on the flip side. If you had a friend who was coming to you for help for whatever area, you would not be like, wow, that person is so weak for asking me for help. No, because we're not horrible human beings, okay? We don't think that way. We want to help our friend. That's just human nature. That goes back to our hunter-gatherer days, is wanting to help out our community. So your next step is to put your ego aside, put, that barrier of yourself aside, and bring in help, because that help is going to help you see the situation in a way that you haven't seen it before, so that you can then overcome the block and resolve the situation, and then let you continue on as you were before. All right. So hopefully this reading helped you out. If this connected with you in some way, make sure that you comment down below. And if you want to catch a more personalized reading with me, something where it's like your personal questions and all of that, then just head over to www.kittensweightsandtarot.com. And if you want to send a little love my way so that I can do more things like this and more for the community, then think about joining that KWT tribe over at patreon.com/kittensweightsandtarot. All right. So that's it from me, spiritual homies. Thank you so much. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out. All right. Hello to group number 4, pile 4, who chose the lovely little dove feather that I found in Actually, this was stuck in the screen of my master balcony. All right, so we'll put this little dove feather off to the side. I have also pulled a seashell for you guys, so we'll see how the seashell connects after I turn the cards over. I did mention in the other piles which decks I was using. I am using the Raven cards by Gabby Bucher. I am using the Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. I am using the Considerate Cat Tarot by Melanie Bellinger. And then this one here, I am using the Animal Wise Tarot by Ted Andrews. Okay, so let's turn these cards over. So making sure that you keep in mind what area in your life you're looking for some help in that next step. What is that next step in relationships, friendships, romance, health, money, career, whatever it may be? What is the next step? So we're asking for that animal guidance. Okay, take some time to find a vantage point a little higher up where you can get a clearer picture of what's going on. Don't judge, just look and follow your own advice. Interesting. Okay, vantage point. We have whale spirit, trust the great mystery. Interesting. Okay. Those are starting to go together there. Then we have the 9 of 4 legs, which is the 9 of Pentacles. Beaver, work for your dreams. That's like our wish card there. And then we have the 4 of Wands. So these are some very, very good cards. Very promising cards, I should say. Okay, so let's move these over and we'll take a look at these and how they connect with the seashell that I have chosen for you. All right, so let me just readjust here real quick. Okay, so taking some time to find a vantage point. So trying to look at your situation for your next step as an unbiased point of view. But also like this whale just trusting in the great mystery, just taking that dive. And then we have stability, and we also have the wish card here, the 9 of Pentacles. Okay. All right, so the next step, what I'm getting here, you know how there are so many of us, myself included, and I basically I have a spiritual business, I read tarot cards for people and all of that. And when I'm pulling cards for myself and I'm like, ooh, like I need to know that if I do this, what's going to happen, and oftentimes, I do predictive readings, but the future is not set in stone because of so many other variables. There's the other variables of the free will of those around us, plus the free will of yourself and the choices that you make, leading to kind of like a butterfly effect. So the hardest thing for, I think, any person on this planet is trust, that word trust. And I was talking about it in my live chat this past Saturday. So I think what would help you trust, because this next step is to work on the trust. The next step is not, the animals here are like, we're not going to tell you how it's going to turn out. We're giving you a little bit of a hint of how it could turn out. But this cannot happen without this. Because the more you hold yourself back of like, I don't know, should I go for it? I don't know. By wanting to have that, I need 100% clarity that if I do, A, then B is going to happen. I need like 100% proof that, if I do this and this is going to happen. And oftentimes, not all the time, but oftentimes we just can't have that guarantee. Okay, so your next step is that the animals here are not going to tell you what's 100% going to happen. They're going to have you practice this thing called trust. But what's going to help with the trust is to just take a step back as if you weren't involved in the situation at all and just look down on it. And as if you were watching a TV show and just be like, okay, what's happening between these people? Okay, what could this person do? What could this person be doing? And look at it again, as if you're just watching a TV show without any biases and just, oh, that's interesting. Okay. And I think that what they're saying is that's going to help you with this trust, which is then just going to open the door for celebration, for making wishes and dreams come true, from this great mystery. Um, and here, even this particular seashell, for me, this is like my nine of pentacles. It's like my nine of wands. I mean, not my nine of wands, but my nine of cups. I often see the nine of pentacles and like the nine of cups as both being like a wish card. I know most readers will see the nine of cups as their wish card, but I see both. I see, just great abundance, and this also being speaking to abundance. So this is like nine of pentacles, nine of cups, abundance of all of that, a job well done, okay, but that cannot happen without trust. Okay, so this is probably going to be your hardest next step, your hardest task, is to just trust in the process and just do what your gut has been telling you to do, and try to look at it from an outside perspective, and that should help a little bit, but this is something for all of us. I'm not saying that I am the last person to be like, you need to trust because I am like, the master of that, which I am not. All right, so I hope this reading was helpful for you. Next step, trust. Trust in the process. Trust that everything is going to turn out the way it should, but make sure that you take that unbiased perspective first. All right? So if this reading connected to you in any way, please post that in the comment section down below. If you would like a reading that's more tailored to you, more specific, then head over to www.kittensweightsandtarot. I have a lot of different types of readings. I would be more than happy to read for you. And there's also a link to my Wally's World Oracle, which is an oracle deck that I created with our beautiful community, and it did fun on Kickstarter, and so now I have my limited quantity of decks, so definitely check it out. And if you want to send a little of my way so I can continue doing videos like this and more for the community, then think about joining that KWT tribe over at patreon.com/kittens, weights, and tarot. And that's it for me, spiritual homies. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out.